स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. We were dealing with the aspect of Vishesha Arghya in the process of puja, the worship, science of worship. We were studying the Vishesha Arghya Sthapana. We had completed the Vishesha Arghya Sthapana. So I will take up the end portion of the Vishesha Arghya. So where we have to show the three mudras. So we shall go to that particular part. We are going now into the Vishesha Arghya, the special Arghya process, where now in the end show Dhenu Mudra, Yoni Mudra and Paramikarana Mudra on the Vishesha Arghya. That is the conch, the stand, tripod and everything. We have prepared the Vishesha Arghya. We have invited the deity to be worshipped. Here we are inviting Sri Ramakrishna by the different mantras, and now we have invoked him into the Shankha, into the Jala, Shankha Jala, into the Vishesha Arghya, and now we'll be showing these three mudras: Dhenu Mudra, Yoni Mudra and Paramikarana Mudra. Now let us go to the slide and see how to perform this Yoni Mudra, Dhenu Mudra. The first one is Dhenu Mudra, respectively Yoni Mudra and Paramikarana Mudra is to be shown. Now we shall go to the slide of Dhenu Mudra. The slide of Dhenu Mudra will be projected now. By the time I can be explaining about what is Dhenu Mudra. Now the name itself is indicating Dhenu is the cow. This one Dhenu, in the Dhenu Mudra, it is indicating the udder of the cow. You can see from three different angles the mudra has been shown. I will also show you. Earlier in the class I had shown you how to do that, but now you can see the picture from three different angles, how the fingers, the pose has been done, the Dhenu Mudra. Now let me, while you are looking at those Dhenu Mudra pictures, let me explain what this Dhenu Mudra is. Crossing the fingers of both the hands, crossing the fingers of both the hands, join the tip of the little finger of one hand with that of the ring finger of the other. Again I will read it. Crossing the fingers of both the hands, join the tips of the little finger of one hand with that of the ring finger of the other hand. Okay, I think you have got the idea now. And the tip of the four fingers of the one hand with that of the middle finger of the other. So now it is clear. The tip of the small finger to the ring finger is to be joined. That is the first step. The second step is the tip of the forefinger of one hand should be joined with that of the middle finger of the other. Okay, you have done that. Keep the thumbs of both the hands joined together. This mudra represents the udder of the celestial cow Kamadhenu. So now you can observe all the three pictures, how the mudra is to be done. I will show you in my hands as we told. See, crossing these, the first process is, you can see the two fingers of the two, then again like this from different poses. Then the thumb has to be joined together like this. This is the Dhenu Mudra. You have to show on the Shankapatra like this. Dhenu Mudra. So while we are showing the Dhenu Mudra, we have to utter the Bija Mantra Vam, Varuna Bija Mantra, for the process of Amritikarana. I have shown you. So the claws like this, crisscross both the fingers like this, tip of the ring finger with the little finger of both the hands, tip of the middle finger and the four fingers of both the hands, then the two thumbs. Like this. This is the Dhenu Mudra. So now I have shown it and the picture is also there. It's so clear. I think you have learned that. I have shown it earlier many times too when the Dhenu Mudra posture had come. Again explaining it for your ease. This Mudra, Dhenu Mudra, represents the udder of the celestial cow Kamadhenu, whose milk is considered nectarine, Amrita. By showing this Mudra, the worshipper makes the items of worship, offerings, etc., nectarine, Amrita. What is this Amrita? Means no. Mrita means death. Amrita means without death. That is immortal. Immortal. What is that which is immortal? That is our Atman or consciousness. Hence, this mudra is called the Amritikarana. To make everything Amrita, conscious. That is consciousness, not conscious. Consciousness. So Atman. So everything is converted into God, transformed into God now. So the worshipper makes the items of worship, offerings, nectarine, Amrita, God. So now you have learnt about what is this Amritikarana, Dhenu Mudra, what is the purpose, the significance behind this Dhenu Mudra. While we show on this Shankar, first of all you have invoked Ramakrishna into that water of the conch, and now you have done the Amritikarana, that means it has been transformed into the nectarine, Amrita. Already the Lord is there. Ramakrishna, he himself is consciousness, condensed. Every god and goddesses are condensed consciousness, Atma Swarupa, Paramatma Swarupa. Now our mind has to get that idea. It's very important that everything is consciousness in essence, Atman in essence or God in essence. But all these mudras and other things, when we think of the significance, now we feel. So our mind will start seeing. We will start seeing everything as Amrita, Amritikarana. So now the water is made Amrita, then with other mudras we will see what is going to happen. Then we will sprinkle that water into the Samanya Argya and also on our head and all the articles, again making everything consciousness, Amrita. So to transform everything around you and your inside you, everything into God consciousness, that is the idea. So now we have learnt about Dhenu Mudra. Now we will go to the next mudra, that is the Yoni Mudra. So the picture will be depicted there how to do. After that I have shown it also earlier. I will show it again now. I will put that posture or the mudra of Yoni Mudra. First we will explain what is this Yoni Mudra. By the time you can see the picture too. See, the picture is given there from two different angles, two different poses. The Yoni Mudra has been shown. Now I will explain what this Yoni Mudra is. Interlocking the little fingers, press the tips of the ring finger against the tip of the forefinger of the other hand. Stretch both the middle fingers so as to touch each other at the tips. Place the tips of the thumbs at the roots of the middle fingers of the respective hands. So this is Yoni Mudra. I'll explain it again. Interlocking the little fingers, press the tips of the ring fingers against the tip of the forefingers of the other hand. Stretch both the middle fingers so as to touch each other at the tips. Place the tips of the thumb at the root of the middle fingers of the respective hands. So it is shown there, but again I am going to perform that mudra here now. So now the hands are like this, locking, crisscrossing the two little finger. Then I am pulling the forefinger and the ring finger of the other hand. From the forefinger of one hand, the ring finger of the other hand is pulled like this. Then the ring finger of the other this hand is pulled by the forefinger of the other hand. Okay. Now what are the two things left? The middle finger. So stretch that middle finger and touch it together. Now we have the thumbs free. Again the thumbs are touched to the root of the middle finger. That is the so this is the mudra. This is the yoni mudra. Shall I perform it again for your ease? Okay. Locking the two little finger like this, then pulling the ring finger of one hand, this right hand, by the forefinger of the left hand. Okay. Now the ring finger of the other hand is pulled by the forefinger of the right hand. Okay. Now two middle fingers are free like this, so they are to be touched, the tip at the tip. Okay. Now touching the root of the finger. That's it. Very easy, fast, you can do it like this. This way or this way at different angles. So both the picture has been shown for your ease. So that is the yoni mudra. Now we are going to the next mudra, that is Paramikarana mudra. The Paramikarana mudra picture will be shown. Now you can see the Paramikarana mudra. Observe the mudra. The name of the mudra is also given, Paramikarana mudra. That's the pronunciation, Paramikarana. Dhenu, then Yoni, then Paramikarana mudra. Now I'm going to explain about what this Paramikarana mudra is, how to perform this and what is that. Now this is the last mudra here, the Paramikarana, in this Vishesha Arghya Sthapana. So now join the two thumbs. It's very simple. Join the two thumbs. It's shown there, you see. And keeping the other fingers together, stretched. Stretch them outwards. Very simple, isn't it? Compared to the other mudras which were very difficult, this is quite simple. This mudra is intended for making its object whole, complete. So that is the idea, that is the significance of performing the yoni mudra. This mudra is intended for making its object whole. Okay. It is used just before the beginning of the actual worship. Now everything is ready, everything is made whole, everything is done. So now if you show Paramikarana mudra, that means you are ready for the actual worship. Until now it was all the preparation for the worship. After this will be the preparation is over, it is ready for the worship. So that is the idea of Paramikarana. So this mudra is intended for making its object whole, not H-O-L-E, it is W-H-O-L-E, complete. It is used just before the beginning of the actual worship, before the worship. So that is the idea and significance, and also to perform the Paramikarana. Now, before worship, Anganyasa called Samalikaranam is performed, and during Samalikaranam one splits up as it were the indivisible principle and places it in different parts of one's own body. Then one takes that principle, the Supreme Lord, from one's heart and places it in front of oneself. for the purpose of worship. At that time, this mudra is shown with the idea that it is again made whole. That is to remind oneself that it has been whole, Purna, and indivisible all the time. And the diversity of duality is imagined only for the purpose of worship. Now again we are getting the idea of even Anganyasa, what is done in Anganyasa and Karanyasa before worship. We do the Anganyasa called Samalikaranam is performed. During Samalikaranam, one splits up as it were the indivisible principle and places it in different parts of one's own body. We did that Anganyasa and Karanyasa. We place the Lord, dividing it into different portion or different parts of the body and the hands, Karanyasa and Anganyasa. So it's called Samalikaranam. So you also got the idea what is this Karanyasa and Anganyasa. One splits up as it were the indivisible principle and places it in different parts of one's own body. Then one takes that principle, the Supreme Lord, from one's heart. We have that Atman or that Supreme Principle, Paramatman or Parabrahman, in our own heart. So we take that same principle, Supreme Lord, from one's heart, and now we are bringing it out and placing it in front of that Tamrakunda, placing it outside ourselves. We did it after Dhyanam. So again we will be performing the Dhyana. During that we will be seeing that we are placing the Lord from our heart into that Yantra or the Shivalinga, Baneshwaralinga or Saligrama, wherever we are going to worship. So now one takes the principle, the Supreme Lord, from one's heart and places it in front of oneself for purpose of worship. At that time this mudra is shown with the idea that it is again made whole. That is to remind oneself that God is one, consciousness is one, Atman or Parabrahman is one. It has that is to remind oneself that it has been whole, Purna, and indivisible all the time, and the diversity of duality is imagined only for the purposes of worship. Okay, you could get the idea of, through this Paramikarana Mudra, got the idea, God is one. We made all these placed at different level for the sake of worship, to know that everywhere it is God and God alone. Finally, before worship, we should get that idea, it is not separate and different, it is indivisible, it's one whole. So this Paramikarana showing that we are getting this idea imagined only for the duality was imagined only for the purpose. Whole Purna, it has been whole, Purna, and indivisible all the time. That is the idea behind this Paramikarana. We got the idea of Paramikarana now. All the three mudras we have come to understand what it is. So the end of Visheshargya has been done. Now we shall take up, because we have completed this Visheshargya. So the next step is, after Visheshargya, the Pita Devata Puja. So I will complete this Pita Devata Puja. I will tell, because that is a small ritual, and then go to the significance, or why do we perform, what is the idea behind the Visheshargya, because it's very, very important. That's why I will go in detail, giving you the philosophy, the significance, the idea behind it, the science behind that Visheshargya. Because this Pita Puja is a very small process, I will just do that step now. Pita Puja, it is written there. Pita, that tha is the, not ta. Now in the Vyanjana or the consonant we have Kaka Gaganga, Chacha Jajanya, Tata Dadana, Tata Dadana, Papa Baba Ma. So this is Tata Dadana. Kaka Gaganga, Chacha Jajanya, Tata Dadana. That Mahaprana from the Tha. So P is elongated, P Tha. That's why under the T there is one dot indicating it is the Th. So there is Murdhanya. The tongue will be touching the top portion. Th. Tha, tha, da, dha, na. So that is Murdhanya. So Pitha Puja. Pu is elongated. Dirgha. Ja is also elongated. Worship of the seat of the deity. Now internally the seat of the deity, the Lord was sitting in our heart. Now we are bringing that Lord Paramatma from our heart, Atmaswarupa, and now he will take the form of Sri Ramakrishna and be seated in the yantra, that is the Baneshwar Shivalinga or Salagrama, or if you don't have all those things, it can be some yantra or it can be flower, whatever. So that we are bringing out the consciousness or Atman and giving me in the form of the chosen deity. Because now we are doing the worship of Sri Ramakrishna, we will imagine that Atman or consciousness is taking the form of Sri Ramakrishna. So before that, shouldn't we get that place ready? So that Pitha where the Lord we are placing from our heart to take the form of Sri Ramakrishna or Krishna or Rama or whatever deity we are going to take the form. So we have to make the place ready for him to be seated there. That's why this Pitha Puja, worship of the seat of the deity, is done. Over that yantra, either it may be Baneshwar Shivalinga, or it may be Saligrama, or it may be Sri Chakra, or it may be what you call the flower. Over that yantra, worship with the following mantras. What is that mantra? Om, Hreem, Omkara, you know it is the indication of Ishvara or the Lord, Parabrahma. Then the sound symbol, Nada Brahma. Then Hreem is the Bija mantra, the seed syllable of the Shakti, Divine Mother. Ete means this Gandha. Why this Ete? It is the dual. In Sanskrit we have Ekavachana, Dvivachana and Bahuvachana. Singular, then plural. Those are the only two things in English, in other language, but in Sanskrit we have Dvivachana also. So singular is one, two is Dvivachana. If there are two, then two and above is called Bahuvachana. So that's why when it is showing Ete means it is Dvivachana, two. What are the two things present here? Gandha and Pushpa. That's why Ete Gandha Pushpe. Pushpam Pushpe Pushpani. So Ete Gandha Pushpe. When we see that, we have to know it is two. Pitha, that is the seat of the deity. Devatabhyo Namaha. The gods or the deities who are going to be the Pitha Devatas are worshipped now. Om Hreem Ete Gandha Pushpe. This flower and Gandha is offered to the Pitha Devata. Pitha Devatabhyo Namaha. Then again another mantra, we have to take another flower dipped in sandal paste, telling Om Hreem Ete Gandha Pushpe Pitha Shaktibhyo Namaha. So we have done the Pitha Puja, worship of the seat of the deity. Now we have done the two process, the mudras in the end of the Dhenu, Yoni and Paramikarna. Then we have done the Pitha Puja. Now we are supposed to do the Punar Karanyasaha, Punar Anganyasaha, Punar Dhyanam. It is already done. We have already done that process. We have to do it again. We will do it in detail again. But before that, before we forget Visheshargya and go forward, we shall go back to this Visheshargya and we will study the things of Visheshargya, that is the significance of Visheshargya in detail. So I am going to now narrate to you why do we do this Pitha Puja, the Visheshargya, and what is the significance behind this Visheshargya. So it's only explanation. There will be no picture and other things. We are going to just explain. So I'll be explaining what is Visheshargya. Special Arghya. Earlier in the beginning we had done Samanya Arghya. Samanya means either simple or general. So Vishesha means special. So we are sitting there for the worship. The Tamrakunda Tripadika is there. Kosha Koshi Samanyargya is made in the beginning in front of us. So the Samanyargya, what is that Kosha and Kushi? So to the left of that, we have to write another mandala. We know that mandala, triangle, circle and square. It was also written for the Samanyargya too, that yantra was done and we worshipped it, and then we kept that kosha and filled that water, all those things, in the beginning we have done that. Now we are going to do again on the left. So we will now understand what is the significance behind that. Okay. So after doing that triangle, we worshipped it. We worshipped them. Om ete gandha pushpa adhara shaktiyadibhyo namaha. Then we kept that tripadika, or the stand which holds the conch. We washed it and kept there and told Om ete gandha pushpe Mam Vannimandalaya Dashkalatmane Namaha, Am Arkamandalaya Dwadashkalatmane Namaha, Somamandalaya Shodashkalatmane Namaha. All those things we did. And we put water into that. Gange Chamane Chev Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sanadim Guru, which showing the Ankusha Mudra. So all those things we have done. Then we showed the Matsya Mudra, all those things. So now we have to study what is all these things. What is this Visheshargya? Why did we perform? What is the science behind it? So we will go deeper into it. Intelligence. We have intelligence, buddhi, that is conceived and mentally perceived as light. Why? It makes us understand something, so that's why it is perceived as light. Intelligence, buddhi, is conceived and mentally perceived as light. Light is therefore the symbol of intelligence. So light is the symbol of intelligence. Light illumines the gross objects of creation. So just as the intelligence is the power of the consciousness, it is the power of consciousness which manifests everything in the universe, including the physical light, everything, the physical light, everything. So intelligence is the one thing which is the power of the consciousness, which makes us understand, which manifests everything in the universe, including the physical light. So intelligence, that is buddhi, is equal to light, that is vanhi. Vanhi means Agni. So Agni Tattva is light. So you get light from fire, isn't it? Sun is burning there, nuclear fusion. So that's why we are getting heat and light. So now intelligence, that is buddhi, is equal to light, that is vanhi. Physical light is in three forms. What are the physical light seen through? One is the sun, the moon and the fire. We see the physical light in these three things. What are they? The sun, moon and the fire. Fire is equals to light on the earth. How can we see? Now we can see the bulb, the tube light, everything. It is the electric energy converted into light energy and heat energy, the fire. So when there is fire too, you can see light coming out of it. It's burning. So that's why fire equals light on earth. That is vanhi. Vanhi means fire. Then what is the sun and moon? They are also the three form. Out of the three forms of light, sun and moon are also that. So what are they? Sun and the moon? Light in the sky or heaven. So light in the sky or heaven, the celestial bodies are sun and moon. On this earth is the fire. So now we have so many equations we are getting, we are understanding. First thing is intelligence is called buddhi. Then intelligence equals light. So buddhi equals vanhi, that is fire. So intelligence equal light, buddhi equals vanhi. Then the three forms of light on the earth is fire. Then above the earth is sun and the moon. That we have come to know. It's easy to understand. Fire and sun have both heat, tapa and light, prakasha, isn't it? fire and sun have both heat, tapa, and light, prakash. But moon is pure light without heat. It's cooling in effect. It doesn't have heat. It is pure light without heat. So these are the Vanhi Mandala. So there are the Vanhi Mandala, Arka Mandala, Surya Mandala. That is Agni is Vanhi. Vanhi Mandala, Arka Mandala, that is Surya Mandala, and Soma Mandala, that is Chandra Mandala. That's why there in the mantra you have seen that Vanni Mandalaya Namaha, Arka Mandalaya, Soma Mandalaya. So there are these three: Vanni Mandala, Arka Mandala, Soma Mandala. Vanhi means fire, that is the source of light on earth. Then Surya Mandala is the Arka Mandala. Arka means Surya, that is the source of light in the sky. Then Soma Mandala is also another source of light from the sky or the celestial bodies or heaven. So now in the ascending order of subtlety, and importance that we are invoking in the Pita, here in the Visheshargya, supported by Adhar Shakti. So first it was the triangle, then it was the circle, then it was the square, that we worshipped as Adhar Shakti in the Visheshargya. They are the which supports the Visheshargya Patra. So now above we are doing the Visheshargya, so that is supported by this Adhar Shakti substratum. So that's why supported by Adhara. Adhara means support. So Visheshargya Patra, or the vessel Shankha, is supported by the Adhar Shakti, which in turn contains the Visheshargya in the form of water, in which we invoke the presence of the deity, which we are going to worship. It is Ganesha, it will be Ganesha, it is Devi, it will be Devi, it will be Shiva, it will be Shiva. Now we are showing Ramakrishna, so it will be Ramakrishna. Now what is the purpose of Visheshargya? The purpose of Visheshargya is to be understood now. Now we gave the basics. What is all this Arka Mandala, Surya Mandala, Chandra Mandala? Arka Mandala is Surya, then Vanni Mandala is Agni. So all those things we understood in the beginning itself. So light is equivalent to the intelligence. So Buddhi is Vanni. All those things we understood. So from the consciousness manifests the intelligence, and through that we understand everything. That's why it is compared with light. All that we studied in the beginning. Now after this foundation for Visheshargya, let us see the purpose of Visheshargya. Now it will be better for you to, it will be easier for you to understand Visheshargya. The divine presence has to be invoked in every object. That is the idea. Devam Bhutva Devan Yajet. So before becoming yourself the God and worshipping the God which you want to, you have to see God everywhere, within and without. So every object, from the Dwara Devata, from the room which we are there, the ground, the seat, everything we started making it conscious or consciousness or Atman, or seeing God in it. So that is all the puja, the rituals of the puja was that, seeing God in everything. So the divine presence has to be invoked in every object used in worship, so that the mind perceives no distinction between these objects and the deity worshipped. Now we have come to the final stage where all the objects of worship, all the things around us, we see the divine presence has to be invoked in every object used in the worship. Why? So that the mind perceives no distinction between these objects and the deity worshipped with them. This has been done in a general way by consecrating the Samanya Arghya. It was done in a simple way, general way, in the Samanya Arghya, and the sprinkling of all the puja articles with the consecrated water. Now the divine presence in the particular form. Earlier it was done in a general form, consciousness, Amrita. Now we are to see in the particular form, Vishesha, that is the deity which we are going to worship. If you are worshipping other deities, Ganesha, Devi, Subramanya, Shiva, Narayana, anything, Kali, Hanuman, so you have to see that deity in all the objects. That is the Visheshargya. Now we are worshipping Ramakrishna, so particularly we have to see Ramakrishna in everything. That's why this Samanya Visheshargya is being performed. So in the Samanyargya, we were consecrating in a general way, and sprinkling of all that on the puja articles with the consecrated water. We saw that consciousness everywhere, the divine presence. That divine presence in the particular form of Ishtadevata, now Sri Ramakrishna, whichever other deity you are worshipping, then it becomes that. But now because we are doing Ramakrishna worship, then it is Ishtadevata Ramakrishna in which we are worshipping and with which we are identifying. All the objects is being invoked through the consecration of the Visheshargya. Now we have come to know the purpose why Visheshargya is done. Earlier it was done in a general way, the consciousness, Nirakara Nirguna. Now that particular deity we are going to worship is to be consecrated everywhere, is to be seen everywhere in a Vishesha, in a very special way. That's why this is the idea behind this is Visheshargya Stapana, we have come to know. Okay, then we have this Mandala Puja, isn't it? We have done the Mandala Puja. What is that Mandala Puja? A different process after the Adhara Shakti. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Adhara Shaktaye Namaha. That earlier we did the Adhara Shaktis, drawing a triangle, then a circle, then a square. We worshipped with the flower. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Adhara Shaktaye Namaha. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Mam Mandi Mandalaya Dashkalatmane Namaha. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Am Arkamandalaya Dwadashkalatmane Namaha. So Om Ete Gandha Pushpe. So we did the different thing, isn't it? So that is the Mandala Puja. Now the first step in the consecration of the Visheshargya is the invocation of the Adhar Shakti. The real Adhar Shakti, the real support and basis substratum of everything for us all is the infinite, the Lord, the Paramatman, the Absolute itself. But in normal usage, when we are living in this earth, in this globe, for normal, we have to see what is really physically supporting us. What is that? But in the normal usage, in practical life, we see that the earth, Vyavaharika Drishti, there is two, Shankaracharya, while explaining about the higher truths, it is there are two truths. What is that? Paramarthika Satya, the higher truth, and Vyavaharika Satya, the truth at the practical level. So like that here, the Absolute is God, and that is the substratum of everything, that is the support, Adhara Shakti. But in the normal usage, in practical life, that is Vyavahara, we see the earth, the globe, as the basis of everything, isn't it? We are standing, walking, doing all the things, we are building our houses, we are running our vehicles, everything is done on the substratum earth. So that Absolute in a particular way, in a special way, here in the Vyavaharika Drishti, that has become the substratum, isn't it? The earth is thus the symbol of ultimate support for us in the Vyavaharika Drishti. The earth itself appears to be supported by water because it is surrounded by it in an overwhelming measure. On this globe we see 70% or little more is water, isn't it? So the earth itself appears to be supported by water because it is surrounded by it in an overwhelming measure. A little further reflection shows that water itself is supported by energy, power, energy, Shakti. This is symbolized by the mandala we draw. So that is the idea in drawing this triangle, then the circle, then the square. So how are we to connect now? This is symbolized by the mandala we draw in which. So that is the mandala. What is mandala? The diagram, the 2D diagram, two-dimensional diagram is mandala. So this is symbolized by the mandala we draw in which the square, the circle, from outwardly it's the square, going inside is the circle, then inside that is the triangle. Or what are they? Symbols of earth. The square is the symbol of earth, then the circle is the symbol of water, and fire, energy, that is indicated by the triangle, energy, power, respectively. So that's why the inner support, the origin is energy, power, triangle. Then outward is water, jala, tattva, that is the support on this whole earth. The earth is supported by water. Then the earth is square. That is the idea between drawing the triangle, power, energy, then it is the circle, that is the water, which is supporting the earth, then square is the earth. So that is the idea between drawing this mandala. I will again tell it. This is symbolized by the mandala we draw in which the square, the circle and the triangle are symbols of the earth, water and fire. Energy. Fire means energy. I explained it in the beginning. That's why we gave the basis respectively. In this mandala, this diagram, we invoke the presence of Adhara Shakti. We worship Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Adhara Shakti Adibhyo Namaha. The ultimate support as supporting power, Shakti. Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Vanni Mandalaya Namaha. So Vanni Mandala, we have to go to the next thing is Vanni Mandala. Next we place the we place the washed support, that is the tripod on which we keep the conch, Shankar, on this mandala, and in that stand we invoke the Vanni Mandala, energy perceived as fire. That is Vanni Mandala, energy, the basics of everything, the basis. In this form, Vanni Mandala, the energy is perceived in both heat and light. Agni has both heat and light. So that's why that Tripadika, which holds the Shankar, we invoke that energy which is perceived as both heat and light in this form, Vanni Mandala, with naturally slightly greater emphasis on light. So this aspect is invoked in the Vishesha Arghya Pita and worshipped. This Vanni Mandala is conceived as made up of 10 parts. Dasha Kalatmane. Dasha Kalatmane means Dhuma, Archa, Jwalini, Sukshma, then all those things are the different aspect of the 10 Dasha Kalatmana, conceived of made of 10 parts. Then we do the next thing, that is the Shanka Puja. Now it was Vanni Mandala on the Tripadika, the stand which holds the conch. Next is the Shanka Puja. So what is that? Shanka is representing the Arka Mandala. Arka means sun. So Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Arka Mandalaya Dvadasha Kalatmane Namaha. This Gandha Pushpa we worship. The Bija mantra is Arka means Surya, Mandala, Surya Mandala, then Dvadasha means 12 petals or 12 parts, Namaha. The next form in which energy is worshipped is solar energy. Here also both heat and light are present, but the emphasis is made on light rather than heat. This aspect is invoked in the Visheshargya Patra, that is a conch. The conch is washed with the mantra Phat and placed on the Pita, the vessel which is to contain the Visheshargya. The Shanka, after this invocation, the container becomes a symbol of solar energy, Arka Mandala. So the conch is the representing the Arka Mandala, solar energy, which is worshipped therein. This energy is conceived as composed of 12 parts. The sun in each one of the solar months being considered as one of the parts. We have 12 months, isn't it? So the sun in each of these 12 months, in each one of the solar months being considered as one of the part. So in 12 months displaying 12 parts, hence Arka Mandala is called Dvadasha Kalatma. Dvadasha means 12. Now so we telling that word Bija Mantra Aim, we put water to the conch. Then we do the next thing is Jala is worship, Jala Puja. So this is Soma Mandala. The Jala, the water is worshipped now. Jala Puja, that is Soma Mandala. So what is Soma? It is moon. What is the mantra repeated here? Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Om Soma Mandalaya Shodasha Kalatmane Namaha. What is Shodasha? 16 kala, different parts. Shodasha Kalatmane Namaha. So the Soma Mandala, moon Mandala. Now the vessel is filled with water, repeating the Bijakshara Aim. The Bija Mantra, Bija syllable, seed syllable, Aim is representing Guru, Saraswati, consciousness and all the things we have explained it earlier. Or the Ishtadevata Mantra 5 times. The Ishtadevata Ramakrishna, for that also it is Aim. So 5 times. In this water we first invoke the presence of the Soma Mandala, which represent the third kind of visible energy, which is pure illumination without heat, only light. The cool moonlight is a symbol of this, and it is considered as the highest of the 3 visible forms of energy. The moon, the source of this light, is composed of 16 parts. Shodasha Kalatman. These 16 parts are the 15 waxing and waning different aspects of the moon. We know waxing and waning, that is the Krishna Paksha and Shukla Paksha. We see that 15 different Kalatmana. From Amavasya you go on to the Purnima, from the new moon day to the full moon. We see that slowly moon appears a little, then a little more. So that is 15 are there, and finally it is full moon. So that is the 16th. So moon shows us every day in 1 month, that is 2 pakshas are there. There we can see the 16 different manifestation of moon. That's why it is Shodasha Kalatman. The 16 parts of the fifth are the 15 waxing and waning digits of the moon, seen during the bright and the dark fortnights. The 16th is the eternal digit, of which the waxing and waning digits are only phases, and which itself remains unchanged, thus invisible. And this 16th digit, Shodasha Kala, represent the Absolute, the Lord Himself, unaffected by the changes of the apparent phases. So now Tirthas, Soma Mandala, pure illumination without heat. Then Arka Mandala, sun, more light, so then heat. Then it is Vanni Mandala, fire, more heat than light. Then Adar Shakti. So these are the way we are placing it in the Vishesharkya. The first is Adar Shakti, then the Vanni Mandala, the fire, that is fire, more heat than light. Then is Arka Mandala, the conch. Before that it is the Tripadika, the stand which holds the conch. Sun, that is Arka Mandala is sun, more light than heat. And Soma Mandala, that is the pure illumination without heat. Above that we have this water, Tirtha. So this is Vishesharkya. Surya, then we bring the Tirtha, the water, from the solar orb by the mantra Tirtha Avahana, Surya, from the Surya Mandala, from the solar orb, or the solar orb is Surya Mandala. We bring the Tirtha, we invoke by the Ankusha Mudra. What is the mantra we tell? Om Gange cha Yamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sannidhim Kuru. So we do this Tirtha Puja. Now we have invoked all the 7 Tirthas, the sacred rivers, into this conch now, into the water in the conch. So it has become Tirtha. We worship that Om Ete Gandhapushpe Tirtebhyo Namaha. Then telling Vashat, we show the Galini Mudra to the Shankar. Then the sacred Tirthas, where a river can be easily seen. So that is a place where a river can be easily crossed. Tirtha is ford, a place where a river can be easily crossed. The place which will help one to cross the river of samsara. That is the idea of Tirtha. The sacred Tirtha. What is the meaning of Tirtha? Tirtha means ford. What is meant by ford? A place where a river can be easily crossed. The place which will help one to cross the river of samsara, that is Tirtha, are invoked in this water to enhance the sense of sanctity. And into this we invoke the presence of the Lord. Before doing this, however, the 6 limbs or aspects of the body with which we conceive Him as endowed with are now worshipped. And what are they? Each being worshipped as the separate Devata. Shadanga Devata, Hridaya Devata. Then the second one, or the B, 2 is Shiro Devata. Third one is Shikha Devata. Fourth one is Kavacha Devata. Fifth one is Netra Devata. And sixth one is Astra Devata. So that's why Shadanga Devata. So worshipped as a separate Devata. Shadanga, 6 different. What are they? Hridaya Devata. What are the Shadanga or 6 Devatas? Hridaya Devata. Second one is Shiro Devata. Shira means Shiras means head. The third one is Shikha Devata. Shikha is the tuft of hair. Then fourth is Kavacha Devata. Fifth one is Netra Devata. And sixth one is Astra Devata. This is done by offering Gandha Pushpa in the Pushpa Kunda itself. So now Om Ete Gandha Pushpe Shadanga Devata Abhyo Namaha. That's why we did the worship of 6 different aspects of the Lord. So He is endowed with we conceive Him as endowed with the 6 different thing we worship, a separate Devata. So the 6 limbs, before doing this, however, the 6 limbs or aspects of the body with which we conceive Him as endowed with are now worshipped, each being worshipped as a separate Devata. So after that it is Visheshargya Puja. Om Aim Ete Gandha Pushpe Sri Ramakrishna Shadanga Devatabhyo Namaha. From this mantra, in that kunda, in that what you call the Shankha, we put the Pushpa. Now Om Sri Ramakrishna Deva Ihagacha Ihagacha. We invoke Sri Ramakrishna or any deity into that by showing all the mudras. We have done it in the Visheshargya. I am not going to repeat it. I am only telling the mantras. Sri Ramakrishna Deva Ihagacha Ihagacha. Ihatishta Ihatishta Ihasanidehi Ihasanidehi Ihasaniruddhyasva Ihasaniruddhyasva Ihasamukhi Bhava Ihasamukhi Bhava Atra Adhishthanam Kuru Mama Pujang Grahanam. Then the Lord is invoked by inviting Him while chanting the said mantra. What is the meaning of Sri Ramakrishna Deva Ihagacha? O Lord Sri Ramakrishna, please come here, please come here. Then another next thing was Sri Ramakrishna Deva Ihatishta Ihatishta. Please sit here, please sit here. Ihasanidehi Ihasanidehi. Let me feel your presence here, let me feel your presence here. Ihasaniruddhyasva Ihasaniruddhyasva. Please continue to stay here, please continue to stay here. Ihasamukhi Bhava or Samukho Bhava Ihasamukho Bhava. Please face me, please face me. Atra Adhishthanam Kuru Mama Pujang Gruhanam. Please take your seat here and accept my puja. So that is the thing mantra, that was the meaning. We did all those things. So then in that, now in this Shankha, Om Aim Ete Gandhapushpe Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Sri Ramakrishnaaya Namaha. We worship that. Then we cover it with Matsya Mudra. So we do it 8 times. I'm Japa is done. We show that Matsya Mudra. Then after that we are repeating the mantra Om Aim Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Sri Ramakrishnaaya Namaha. Then we do that Phat Phat Phat. We clap Phat 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 3 times at different levels. Then after that, on that Visheshargya, we show the Dhenu Mudra, Yoni Mudra and Paramikarana Mudra. We did that. I told you about the significance of all the mudras too. So now we will continue the same Visheshargya explanation again in detail. Only little more is left of the Visheshargya, the significance of it. In the next class, we will end our discussion of the Visheshargya and the Pita Devata Puja for now. Om Priyatam Pundari Kakshah Sarvayagneshwaro Harihi Tasmin Tushte Jagat Tushtam Prenite Prenitam Jagat Harihi Om Tatsat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.